story begins in a mysterious world deep beneath the Earth's surface, known as the Hollow Earth. In this hidden realm, gigantic and unnatural creatures roamed freely. Among them, we see Kong desperately running for his life. Chasing him were terrifying war dogs, beasts that looked like monstrous hounds. Kong grabs one of them and tears it apart with brutal force. Seeing this, the rest scatter in fear. But as Kong sits down to eat the meat, something becomes clear. His tooth is infected. Right then, he hears something from a distance and starts moving toward it. What he sees is shocking. A giant frog-like creature towering before him. Meanwhile, we're introduced to Dr. Eileen, a scientist working for an organization called Monarch. Monarch's mission: to track and study the movements of ancient titans. Across the ocean in Italy, chaos erupts as a spider-like titan named Scar King attacks. But Godzilla appears, and in under a minute, he destroys Scar King completely. Afterward, he curls up and falls asleep inside the ancient Colosseum. Back at Monarch, strange signals start showing up on their devices, initially thought to be a glitch. We then meet Gia, a girl who begins seeing terrifying visions during her school hours. Without realizing it, she starts drawing strange symbols in her notebook. There's something different about her. We'll slowly uncover her mystery. Dr. Eileen, who adopted Gia, rushes to bring her back home. Meanwhile, deep inside the Hollow Earth, a mysterious creature smashes surveillance cameras. Dr. Eileen realizes something big is coming. She seeks help from a man named Bernie, trying to decode the strange signals. And just then, shocking news arrives. Godzilla has suddenly awakened. Panic spreads like wildfire across the world. Meanwhile, Kong surfaces on Earth to treat his infected tooth. They sedate him, extract the infected tooth, and replace it with a new one, made of metal. Back at Monarch, Bernie finally decodes the strange signal. It turns out someone or something is crying out for help. From right here on Earth, they decide they must find the source of this signal. So, with Kong on board, they board a special aircraft and head straight for the Hollow Earth. For nearly an hour, they travel deeper and deeper into the unknown. On the way, they encounter a peaceful flock of flying creatures called Dodobas. Meanwhile, Godzilla attacks a nuclear plant, absorbing massive amounts of radiation. He becomes supercharged, more powerful than ever. To stop him, the French government launches a drone strike, but Godzilla wipes them out, one by one. Back in the Hollow Earth, the research team reaches their base, only to find it completely destroyed. Kong, meanwhile, is searching, hoping he's not the only one of his kind left. He stumbles into a mysterious region called the Subterranean Rail. There, he meets a tiny monkey-like creature named Suko. But before they can speak, more apes appear and attack Kong. But this is Kong. He defeats them all without breaking a sweat. Afterward, Kong questions Suko about the attack and the region. Suko then leads Kong toward a nearby village. Back in the aircraft, another powerful telepathic signal is received. So intense, the plane nearly crashes. Barely holding on, they manage to reach the signal source. They begin searching the area. Suddenly, a tree strikes and kills one of the soldiers. Panic erupts. Everyone runs for their lives. Elsewhere, Godzilla makes his way toward Antarctica. Monarch's research reveals something chilling. There, hidden in the ice, is a titan named Tiamat. Back in the Hollow Earth, the team discovers strange ruins. They stumble upon evidence of an ancient civilization. Among the ruins, they find a mysterious curtain that changes color when touched. Beyond it lies a whole new world. Suko then lures Kong to a lakeside, pretending to show him his home. But beneath the water lurks a massive serpent-like monster. In just minutes, Kong slays the beast. Afterward, he shares the serpent's meat with Suko, and in that moment, Suko realizes Kong isn't a monster. Meanwhile, Godzilla attacks a sea creature, using it to discharge built-up energy. A fierce underwater battle begins and ends in just a minute. Inside the mysterious world beyond the curtain, the research team is captured by jungle-dwelling humans. These people have built a stunning world using glowing stones for power. They even have portals to Earth, but they don't speak. Neither does Gia. And that's when they realize she belongs here. Queen communicates with Gia through telepathy. Elsewhere, Kong and Suko walk across a massive skeleton of a fallen titan. It's so huge, Even Kong looks tiny in comparison. Soon, the ancient civilization leads the researchers into a cave, covered in carved history. The people of the civilization then take the doctors into a cave, where the history of thousands of years is engraved. There, they learn a powerful truth. Godzilla's kind were guardians of nature, and Kong's kind, protectors of mankind. But long ago, a mighty ape, Scar King, wanted to rule both realms. He led a devastating attack, nearly wiping out Godzilla's kind. Now, Scar King has enslaved the other apes and rules over them with cruelty. Kong finally reaches his territory and is furious to see the suffering of the apes. He starts fighting Scar King, but is defeated in their first battle. King then summons his trump card, Shimo, the ancient ice titan. Shimo attacks Kong with an ice breath, paralyzing one of his arms. Kong barely escapes and retreats. It is revealed that Shimo is the oldest and most powerful titan on Earth. The ancient tribe shares a prophecy about Scar King's invasion of Earth. They believe only the revival of their dead queen can stop him, and Geo will do it. Kong escapes and, with Zuko's help, reaches the Iwi civilization. But one of Scar King's scouts follows them and discovers the location. He informs Scar King about it, so Scar King, Shimo, and his army set off to find the portal to Earth. Meanwhile, Godzilla is shown, fully charged and ready to unleash his power. The doctors equip Kong with a mechanical glove made under Project Powerhouse. With the glove and a special serum, his arm heals and he becomes stronger. But Kong knows he can't defeat Scar King and Shimo alone, so he seeks help from Godzilla. As soon as they meet, a monstrous battle begins between them. Meanwhile, Gia is being prepared to revive Mothra, Godzilla's mate. With her touch, Gia successfully brings Mothra back to life. Kong tries to convince Godzilla but fails, so he grabs his tail and drags him. But against Godzilla's atomic death breath, Kong struggles to survive. Eventually, Kong is defeated, and just as Godzilla is about to finish him, Mothra appears and calms them both. The doctors try to create a gravitational shockwave using a special liquid to stop Scar King's army from passing through the portal. But Scar King and Shimo arrive early and block the crystal. Then Trapper returns with his dodo birds. The birds create an electric shockwave around, destroying Scar King's army. After that, Godzilla and Kong travel through the portal to Earth. The movie's most epic battle begins, Godzilla and Kong versus Scar King and Shimo. Because of the gravitational shockwave, gravity disappears and Titans float mid-A. The battle is insanely intense and thrilling. When the shockwave ends, they land on the beaches of Brazil. Shimo, on Scar King's command, starts freezing the ocean. Godzilla's atomic breath looks spectacular, but Scar King couldn't live up to his name. Though Shimo resists a bit, Scar King is destroyed. Zuko breaks the controlling stone from Scar King's hand, which had been used to enslave Shimo. Now she is free. Finally, Shimo freezes Scar King, Kong smashes him to pieces, and Godzilla restores the atmosphere with his atomic breath. Godzilla returns to sleep in the Colosseum, and Kong reclaims his kingdom as King Kong. That's how the story ends. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to comment and subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching the video.